episode. Wow, what a race. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona had it all. Let's talk about it, man. It had 3x3 racing, it had big moves, it had big wrecks, it had an underdog winner in Harrison Burton. Gets his first career NASCAR Cup Series race and is now locked into the NASCAR playoffs. We'll talk about the end of this race. But let's start in stage one, man. Stage one, no cautions, just great hard racing, 3x3. The Penske cars, the Fords qualified the best in the top 10 overall, and they were kind of controlling the field. We saw Josh Berry looked like he was the best car. I felt like most of this race it just seemed like he could do anything he wanted. The Penske cars were working well. All three of those guys, I think, at once were in the top 5 there. And we saw a great finish with Josh Berry getting the stage 1 victory. Then we went in the pit stops. We saw a weird situation where we saw Daniel Suarez. He got fuel and tires, but then a little fuel came out of the can after him trying to get out, but he kind of sat there. I think it was whatever car was in front of him. I think he said the 21. And then Denny came forward, and Denny's, I don't know if he let off the gas, and flames came out of his exhausts and lit the gas on fire in Daniel Suarez's pit box, and then it caught fire on Daniel Suarez's car. Daniel Suarez got out, and I guess the fire got worse, and all of a sudden the whole back of the car was like lit on fire. It was massive flames. So I'm not sure the entire gas can got on fire there. It was a weird sequence that went down there, and just ended Daniel Suarez's race just like that. And then as stage 2 continued, we started seeing some strategy, kind of some, half saving, some people going all out, the front leaders going all out, the back kind of saving. It was this weird mix of people, and then we ended up seeing a massive wreck. Early in this stage 2, it looked like Corey LaJoie hit Noah Gragson in the wrong spot. Kind of Gragson got out of shape, and then Corey hit him again and got him turned, and then Corey turned himself. Then they hammer, what is it, the 1, the 19, the 41, the 48, the 24, the 9, the 43, the 45, the 5, the 31, the 7, the 12, the 3, 11, 10, 20, 42. All those cars were all involved. Not all of them were taken out. Some of them just kind of slid around and kind of banged into each other, but no one got like super banged up, where a bunch of them got taken out, so a lot of them were able to continue, but just had a little bit of damage. But a lot of people on social media were blaming that on this 7, and it seemed like Denny Hamlin also blamed it on him. And then after that big one, no one really wanted to race. Everyone wanted to kind of stay in the top lane after that big wreck. But then we started seeing good racing again, that the bottom lane started getting going, and cars getting 3 wide, and it just turned into something really fun to watch. But then we seen a really interesting situation where we saw the 43 have a flat, the 16 SVG blow up, the 19 had a flat tire too. I'm not sure there was some debris on there, but I mean, the 16 blew up like a freaking, it was a smoke bomb went off there, man. It was massive. But after that, we had a great finish to the end of stage 2 with Joey Logano getting the stage win. And then stage 3 began, and we saw the same old kind of 3x3 racing. We saw a lot of 3x3 racing, but it turned into that kind of strategy of, how much you save, how hard do you want to run. If you stay in the front, you're going to burn more fuel than the guys that are in the back that are saving. So NBC did a great job of kind of showing the people that were like half throttle, 40% throttle, It was really entertaining, really fun to watch. And 40 laps into that final stage, we saw a single car spin with John Nemechek. It looks like Kyle Larson got a bad push and hit him, and then he turned, but he didn't flip. It was a single car spin, a lot of momentum, but stayed on the ground. There's no more grass in that back stretch anymore, so we don't have to worry about like cars getting torn up. So that also probably helps the cars to slow down better too. So that's really good decision there by NASCAR to get rid of that grass from last year when we had the Ryan Preece flip. The only bad thing about John Nemechek spinning out was we didn't get to see live green flag pit stops. That would have been so fun and entertaining to watch these teams kind of maneuver around the cars and work as like alliances. That would have been entertaining to watch. But single car spin. Then we got back racing with 15 laps to go, and it was go time with Michael McDowell going at it. Looked like he was controlling all 3 lanes. But then we saw a massive big one. Looking like the 2 at Austin Cindric was pushing the 34 in the turn, which you're not really supposed to do that, and he just kind of wrecked him pretty much. And then the 34 went up into the cars, got sideways to the 5. Who was it here? The 34, the 5, the 23, the 22, the 48, the 45, the 51, the 24, the 12, the 8, the 20, the 47, the 17, the 33. Bunch of cars got involved there. Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, both guys that were in contention. One was trying to win the regular season championship. One's trying to get into the playoffs. That was a massive wreck that had playoff implications in it. Then with 3 laps to go, we got a restart. We were able to survive 1 lap. But then with 2 laps to go, we saw Josh Berry and Austin Cindric. Bad push gone wrong. The 4 of Josh Berry got sideways, got airborne, landed on his roof, and slid down to an inside barrier hard. And this was just a couple of days after NASCAR added a new air deflector fin They call it the shark fin to hopefully help the cars to stay on the ground more, and that didn't do a jack crap thing. So it looks like NASCAR is going to have to continue to work on trying to keep these cars on the ground. In my opinion, I think it has to do with more what's under the car, the underbody of the car, than what's on top of the car. The way the bottom of the car is sealed off, I think that's a big deal. It has a big thing to do with why the cars are getting airborne so quickly, especially that diffuser does not help either. And then we had our one and only overtime restart between Kyle Busch and Harrison Burton. Kyle Busch was able to get out to the lead, and I thought he was going to be able to control both lanes. Coming to the white flag, he's controlling turns 1 and 2, but then Harrison Burton gets a massive push from Parker Retzlaff. Parker Retzlaff, this is only his second race this season, and he gets a massive push for Harrison Burton, and then Harrison Burton clears Kyle Busch going into 3. Now it's just a game of blocking. Can he block the run? Kyle Busch has a lot of momentum, but he blocks back and forth, and then gets Harrison Burton a little bit loose. Harrison goes below the yellow line, but comes back up, and then wins the freaking race. Gets his first ever career win. This is massive, man. He was 34th in points coming into this race, and now is locked in to the playoffs. We run down our finishing order. Harrison Burton gets his first career win. Kyle Busch second. Almost got himself locked into the playoffs. Still have a chance next week at Darlington. Christopher Bell did a great job pushing Kyle Busch third. Fourth, Cody Ware. Fourth for Cody freaking Ware. He has more top fives at Daytona than Kyle Larson does. Oh man, great job for him. Ty Gibbs fifth, solid run for him. Bubba Wallace finishes sixth, but he's still minus 21 to the cut line due to Harrison Burton getting the win. Parker Retzlaff finishing seventh, did a great job pushing Harrison Burton to the win. I think I was hearing from the radio that Parker Retzlaff was not supposed to push Harrison Burton because he was a Ford, and Kyle Busch, the one he was racing, was a Chevy. So that wasn't a great look for him probably. But then Brad Keselowski, eighth. Brad Keselowski had a restart violation, and he was the restart before the Michael McDowell crash, where it looked like Brad went off of what Cindric did, but Cindric accelerated and then spun the tires, and Brad just had a big push from the back. So it's just one of those situations where, I mean, one person has a side here, and everyone says this, and NASCAR made the call and penalized Brad. But Brad, due to the fact that Brad didn't go a lap down, he saw another massive wreck, he was able to stay in contention and finish eighth. And then ninth, Daniel Hemrick, great run for Daniel Hemrick. 10th, Chris Buescher. 11th, Carson Hocevar. 12th, Ross Chastain. 13th, Zane Smith. 14th, Chase Briscoe. 15th, John Nemechek. 16th, Alex Bowen. 17th, Eric Jones. 18th, Austin Cindric. 19th, B.J. McLeod. 20th, Joey Gase. And everyone below pretty much 20th were all involved in wrecks, and that's where they kind of finished. One thing I have to say, Harrison Burton gets his first career win. It was awesome. Big deal. Locks himself in the playoffs. Doesn't have a ride for next year. But all the fans want to do is make a big deal about how the playoff format is and how the integrity of the sport is terrible. Just because a guy who was 34th in points won a race. He won the race. Okay? And guess what? When you win a race in NASCAR, you're locked in the playoffs. That's the rule. If one of the guys above the playoff cut line won this race, no one would be a big deal. They would congratulate him. Great win for him. But because it was Harrison Burton, because he was 34th in points and terrible all year, he wins a race, and now he's locked in. Everyone wants to complain about it. He just won his first career win, man. I mean, Harrison Burton was just driving a race car, doing what he had to do, racing for his freaking career pretty much, because he doesn't have a career next year. He doesn't have a ride next year. So I don't like that we're going after and attacking Harrison Burton for winning a race because of the way that the playoff format is. I don't like that. So I don't think it's fair to Harrison Burton. I don't think it's fair to any driver that's in this situation. Now, yes, did NASCAR get rid of the rule that if you're not in the top 30 of the point standings, and if you win a race, you still have to be above the top 30? Yes, they got rid of that rule. Maybe they should have. I understand what people are saying, but I don't think it's fair to go and attack Harrison Burton and say he doesn't deserve this win because of where he was in points. He got a win, man. And by rule, because he won a race, he's in the playoffs. Now for the rolling rate. This race was awesome. It was spectacular. It had everything you wanted in it. 3x3 racing, hard racing, daring moves, big crashes, surprising winner, and Harrison Burton. So this race gets a 9.5. It was that good. I enjoyed it. Can't wait for Darlington. I'm going to be there in person. I'm going to be camping down there, so I'm excited to go check that out. Now we look at the playoff picture. This is how the playoff standings look here. Martin Truex is plus 58. Ty Gibbs is plus 39, and then Chris Buescher is plus 21. In my opinion, if Ty Gibbs and Martin Truex have solid races and don't wreck out, they should be good in making it to the next round. But Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, and everyone else is all going after Chris Buescher. It's going to come down to getting stage points running good all race. Chris Buescher's really good here at Darlington. Could have won the spring Darlington race, but then had contact with Tyler Reddick and cost himself a chance to win that race. But then Ross Chastain, man, just had a bad race today. Just did not got involved in wrecks, which is just kind of what happens at Daytona. Just wrong place, wrong time. Same thing with Bubba Wallace. Wrong place, wrong time. But Bubba Wallace took a lot of credit during his post-race interview and said that, he talks about how Tyler Reddick is competing for a regular season championship, and then Bubba Wallace is the one that's fighting for just a playoff spot, So he takes responsibility. But look, man, this is what NASCAR set up. This is what it was meant. This is why the playoffs are so entertaining to watch. You can complain about the integrity of the sport, but it's sure as heck entertaining. I mean, that's what they built it for. And now we're going to see a great, great battle all come down to Darlington. And it's certainly going to be can't miss. Overall, congrats to Harrison Burton. First career win at Daytona. Gets Wood Brothers 100th win. That has to be very, very special. That's so cool, man. That's awesome. Goodbye, y'all.